Decking, railing, lighting, furniture, fencing, framing. At Trex, we make the most in outdoor living because you deserve to get more from your life outdoors. So why not start bringing your ideas to life now with the brand that's engineering what's next? To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, or to find a local retailer or a certified Trex Pro deck builder near you, visit Trex.com. That's Trex.com.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
So many fun things to talk about today. Bartolo Colon. What year is this? Bartolo Colon. Perfect gaming.
Yeah.
Steroid cheat Bartolo Colon. How is he doing this? Every count was 0-2 against the world champions. Bartolo Colon, perfect game into the 8th inning. How old is Bartolo Colon? We've got Mel Kiper's thoughts on Coachella. That's coming up. We've got this Kawhi thing, which is one of the weirdest things we've ever seen in sports. You got Marlins man, a free agent fan going to the British Virgin Islands to find a P.O. box where the Marlins were claiming was their primary residence. So you got their fan, you got a disgruntled fan situation where he's only famous for being a Marlins fan. He made the first press conference with Jeter, one of them, a circus. He quit the team, and now he's doing investigative reporting, being the only journalist to fly to the British Virgin Islands and finding this P.O. box with Andy Slater, a local radio guy down here.
While handing out Marlins visors, which is an odd thing because he's kind of protesting the Marlins, but he's also kind of spreading awareness of the Marlins.
Well, this is the thing that is a conundrum about Marlins, man, and thank you for stopping me here, because I also want to get to whether or not Mike Ryan is doubting the 76ers because they're white. Before we get to that, though, let's talk about Marlins, man. Free agent fan. Let's think about this person's existence, okay? I'm going to explain this to the national audience. This person is a wealthy person who decided by some creative inspiration, the way I'm going to get famous is by wearing an orange Marlins jersey at every major sporting event and being seen wearing an orange Marlins jersey.
It worked.
It is something that worked and is also the single most look at me thing a fan has ever done. And so now this man who's carved his identity, he very badly wants this fame. You do not wear an orange shirt at the center of all of the major events at considerable expense unless you want this fame. But he's torn because he loves this team because it brings him fame. But bleep this team, man. Bleep this team. And so Jeter comes in and Marlins man shows up in his orange fame and makes a whole circus of the press conference where Jeter's looking around being like, really? I come from the Yankees. Like, we took a briefcase to the ballpark. We were so professional. This is their fan base? This guy, feeling betrayed and yelling and shouting at Derek Jeter.
You know what they've done this year, right? They're not wearing the orange jerseys this year. So some people are speculating this is a dig at Marlins man who made a spectacle of that thing.
So Guillermo, help me explain to the national audience who this person is, what he does, and specifically what he did this weekend, where he did a better job than this gasbag journalist who pretends to love Miami publicly on air in ways that suits him, and ESPN hasn't done anything, about investigating. Wait a minute, why is there a lawsuit in Miami and the Marlins are claiming that their headquarters are in the British Virgin Islands? Seems like a good question to have someone in journalism chase down.
So a couple weeks ago, the Marlins are in various lawsuits with the city and the county because of the sale and money that the city and county didn't get that they thought they'd get as, part of the sale. And for whatever reason, the new Marlins team is also involved in that, even though they're the ones that paid the money to the old team. It's very complicated. So to try to avoid legal issues, the Marlins claim that they're an entity of the British Virgin Islands because some part owner has some sort of something in the British Virgin Islands.
Something, yes.
So Andy Slater, who has a show down here, is friends with Marlins man, and he goes on his show regularly.
But people need to understand, in terms of what this fan base has, people need to understand this baseball team in this market, what Jeter inherited is, these are the three guys they've got. It's Guillermo, it's Marlins man, and it's Andy Slater. And they've managed to, these are the only three people remaining that care about anything happening with this baseball team are those three people. And the Marlins are still doing things to alienate those three people, so much so that two of those people just went to the British Virgin Islands, and I'm imagining considerable expense, to investigate this better than any of us have.
Well, that's not entirely fair. They still have Dancing Tony, the old man that dances, and he still goes to the game, and he kisses his wife at the end of every kiss cam. Spoiler alert.
That's nice.
Yeah, Dancing Tony.
Still does that, huh?
Yeah, he's still there every game.
What a motley crew this is.
So, anyways, we decided when we heard the news that this is something that should be laughed at because it's ridiculous to claim that the Marlins are a team from the British Virgin Islands. So our solution was, let's buy a British Virgin Islands flag and hang it behind us on Amazon Prime. It took like 4 days to get here. And then we printed like a bunch of pictures of like actual British people like Simon Cowell and the Queen and Lord Disick. And those people are all here, which they're now covered by our flag that finally came. Right. And Andy Slater and Marlins Man had a better idea, which was let's go to the British Virgin Islands. So they somehow tracked down the address that they're claiming is the Marlins office. And they faked this outrage and surprise that there's not actually a Marlins office there. And they basically went to like a mailboxes, etc. type place and found that it's just a P.O. box. So then Marlins Man is handing out like orange shirts and orange visors, and he's signing them for people. And everyone seems very confused by what's going on. Marlins Man starts feeding cats and doing all kinds of philanthropy in the British Virgin Islands.
Okay, hold on. I've got a lot of questions here, okay? And I'll spend the whole show here happily.
It's a great headline on one of the stories where it says Marlin Man found no employees but did find many confused locals.
Okay, yeah, well, here's the thing, okay? This is some real gonzo journalism that's going on here. Again, I'm trying to explain to you guys who this person is. He's only clinging to what his fame is.
He also has a Marlins mobile, which is orange, and it has like fins on it, and he was all in on this. By the way, I'm not even sure 100% that he intended to be Marlins Man. He just showed up to like World Series games in a Marlins jersey because he was a Marlins fan, and it stood out because it was like in Kansas City or something, so it was the only orange jersey. And then I think he's like, wait a minute, I got something here. And now he's all in. He has a Marlins mobile, and he has a Marlins this and Marlins that.
This is amazing. Excuse me. This crusade is amazing. This is your most famous fan. He's investigating in the British Virgin Islands while handing out flyers with a journalist. He's going there with a journalist. Andy Slater breaks stories in Miami.
He also, by the way, tried to re-up on his season tickets and wrote them a $200,000 check for 3 years of season tickets. And for whatever reason, they rejected him. I'm assuming he was trying to get some sort of heavy discount on the seats because he has really nice seats behind home plate. So he was trying to give them money. They said no, thank you. So now it seems that money is being invested in embarrassing them.
In journalism. In better investigative journalism than this company is doing of the Marlins situation. He's doing him and Andy Slater rampaging through the British Virgin Islands looking for a P.O. box.
The funniest part about it, though, is that they were acting like they thought they were going to find an actual Marlins office there. And they're like, I can't believe that there's only a P.O. box here.
They thought Jeter was going to be there.
Well, I mean, all things considered, they're flying a long way to just look at a mailbox.
Well, they had a good idea, but they should have gone over the top more. Obviously, they had a better idea than us. But like, had they been knocking on like the P.O. box, asking for Derek Jeter, and like, right. I'd like to talk to someone, and that would have been great.
You know how Peter Thiel bankrolled Hulk Hogan to bring down Gawker through all the lawsuits and whatnot? I'm pretty sure Marlins Man is pulling a Peter Thiel. He's bankrolling this whole Andy Slater investigative mission.
Well, and the reason I bring all of this up, and I'm so grateful for you guys, is can we get in there and see if ESPN will do a little bankrolling of its own to lift up Marlins Man and Andy Slater so somebody covers this damn story since we're not putting Fainer Uwata on it.
So you think like Pedro Gomez should be at that post office?
I'm just saying, let's put something behind. Let's throw some resources behind Marlins Man and Andy Slater and see what journalism we unearth.
I'd like to see Guillermo take a crack at this story. Seriously. Let's put some resources behind Guillermo.
Well, we did, and he ordered a British flag that took 4 days to get here, and that was his creative burst. That what he did, because often creativity comes from a dark place.
Right.
Rick Springfield taught us that. And when it comes from a dark place, It should produce more than a British flag 4 days late on Amazon.
Yeah, it's British Virgin Islands. Would have got in here sooner had we had Prime, but, budgetary.
And speaking of Rick, his favorite color coming up later today. Hi, everyone. Stugotz here. Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you are confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, and your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you the same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you are getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz. That's rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz, STUGOTZ. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard.
I had a dream last night about the show that Stugotz was filling in for Joe Buck on his podcast, and Allison called me to tell me what a great job Stugotz did. And I realized this is a dream because Allison would never praise Stugotz. Stugotz would never fill in for Joe Buck's podcast that may or may not even exist.
And if I did, it wouldn't be good.
Factually, a lot of factual errors in your dream.
What a weird dream.
Yeah.
Stugotz.
So that's the height of your fantasies, Guillermo.
Well, maybe it was a nightmare. I don't know. It happened when I was asleep.
Thank you, Guillermo.
That's how dreams work.
Yep.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Introducing the all-new ESPN app, now with ESPN Plus. What's ESPN Plus? It's ESPN's new streaming service available right in the ESPN app. It's awesome. With ESPN Plus, for just $4.99 per month, you get thousands of live sporting events, including MLB, NHL, MLS, and top-ranked boxing, and a full library of movies and documentaries, including the entire 30 for 30 collection. And our listeners can take advantage of a 30-day free trial of ESPN Plus presented by Amex by signing up with the ESPN app today. The all-new ESPN app featuring ESPN Plus. Check it out today.
Basketball was fun this weekend, and I wanted to talk to you, Stugotz, about if you saw what Gregg Popovich had to say after Game 1. Warriors-Spurs, Warriors 113, Spurs 92. Kawhi Leonard. This is the Warriors without Steph Curry.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard now proclaimed out for the season in the rare non-Woj Yahoo bomb.
Right.
Have we ever seen one of those before? A non-Woj basketball Yahoo bomb?
Oh, yeah. Shams does a good job.
Okay.
Yep.
So here is the backstory. Did you hear any of this?
I didn't hear what he said, but I'm sure it was, full of ego and full of, undercutting and passive aggressiveness and all that kind of good stuff, because I'm getting tired of Popovich.
Okay, before we go down this path, though, this is great, though. It's great that you would do this, Stugotz, because it is the conundrum with Popovich to me, because many people get tired of him, but then they stop getting tired of him every once in a while, like I did with where we're about to head. And they go, okay, that was pretty funny. That was a good one, Pop. You were mean and cruel there, and you were a jerk in the press conference, but that one was a good one. And so this back and forth in the press conference, I don't think I want to hear it, Mike. Maybe I want to hear it, but I want to read it. What went wrong for you guys tonight? What went wrong for us this afternoon? So already he's pushing the reporter back. The reporter said tonight, he's saying, what went wrong for us? He's in a snippy mood. They've lost by 20 points. The reporter feels the need to correct Knight to this afternoon because he's been Popoviched.
Right.
And so Popovich's only sentence, in the grumpy way of his, is they played better than we did.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they ask him about starting Green basically on Kevin Durant. Did that work very well? And then Popovich's answer is, did you watch the game? And the reporter says, yes. What do you think? And then the reporter says, it didn't work out too well. And Popovich finishes with this. It didn't work very well. We'll have Danny Green grow 4 or 5 inches by Monday night. We'll tell him to jump higher and more and move quicker. And we'll tell Kevin Durant, please don't be so good. Not clever enough for you to push back? Okay, still too arrogant.
Because it's kind of same old. Like that's his go-to move. It's different, maybe expanded a little bit. He said a little bit more than he normally does, but it's all the same vibe. And I'm tired of his vibe. I really am. Kawhi asks his group. It's always, we got to play harder, or they're playing better. Kevin Durant needs to be worse. Just answer the question. Do me a favor. Give the reporter who's working hard, who's there, just give him something. Give him anything. Give him something so he can write his story. I'm just tired of Popovich. I am. Hey, listen, it's all fun when you're winning championships. When you're not, and you can't find Kawhi Leonard, it ceases to be fun. It becomes annoying.
I don't think those reporters work that hard. I feel like they just show up, eat buffet. I've been there. I did that.
Right.
Like, we're not working that hard. We're like, basically what we're doing, if truth be told.
Yeah.
We're leaving the buffet, wandering over, grazing to wherever Popovich is, and then when we get there, we're like, hey, Pop, can you give us our story? Pop, can you do something mean or cruel or say something so that I don't have to be creative and do my own job and I could just get back to that buffet? And sometimes Pop doesn't feel like playing that game with us.
Well, he never feels like playing that game.
I think he's funny sometimes. But, Mike, you know what I'm saying with this, right? Popovich, I don't know that my opinion, because so much of how we do this in sports is judging the participants, defining them by single acts, making these one-dimensional portraits of people, and basically it all comes down to whatever our moralizing is. Do I like this person or do I not like this person? And I find myself on Popovich waffling more than I do on anyone in sports the last 15 years. Do I like this person or do I not like this person? It's not because he disagrees with my opinions or I disagree with his opinions. It's because he's often mean to people, but sometimes he's mean to people in ways that are clever and funny and almost like performance art.
But sometimes it's just mean.
That's right.
It comes off as mean.
But the reason that I recognize it, Stugotz, is because I fall on the wrong side of mean all the time.
Right.
Around here, going for clever.
But you're always going for clever and funny. I'm not certain he's always going for clever and funny. I think at times he is actually going for mean.
Bitter.
And that's a big, bitter and mean, and that's a big difference.
I'm fine with it when he's doing it to people he sees every day. When he has an influx of new media that he hasn't dealt with or built up these relationships with, and he does that, I don't dig it. I would not want to deal with that person on a daily basis.
Well, this is the thing, though. You say you wouldn't want to deal with that person on a daily basis, and I get it, but I don't think that any of these people want to deal with each other on a daily basis. The reporters with Popovich or Popovich with the reporters. And so the reason I bring all of this up is because at the very top of the success, you got three guys who are perpetually bad to the media. It's Belichick, it's Saban, and it's this guy. They have succeeded in this fun and games department that shouldn't be a misery more than anybody has. And their relationship with us is what it is. Is that their fault or is it ours? Like, I'm legitimately asking you that question. Do we bother them so much? Think about those three people and what and how they are with the media. They're the three worst. They're the ones who come back, who have the confidence to tell you to go bleep yourself. They don't care if you run them as content.
Well, that comes with winning and resume and all that stuff. But, I mean, we cover them the most because their teams are always winning.
I know, but
they don't want us to cover their greatness.
No, but what I'm asking you is this so? Are they this way because we're wearing them out because they're there more than everyone else and our questions are dumb and they know more than we do and they don't want to be questioned? Like, really? Kevin Durant and Danny Green, what do you want me to say there? It's Kevin Durant on Danny Green.
Right. That's never going to go well.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, that's not a smart question, but it's a question that needs to be asked.
But is there anyone in the NBA that does it as often as Pop? Is there anyone that's just mean to the media? Because the people that you mentioned, Saban and Belichick, they come from the Parcells tree. Pretty much everybody that's from that Parcells tree doesn't have time for the media.
Well, let's think about this for a second because I've asked you guys this question before. Who's the coach who's done all the winning that you're like, man, he's joyous? That guy loves being around. Man, he's comfortable around. Hell, Stan Van Gundy.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Won on two different levels.
Yep.
Stan Van Gundy can't help himself, gets fined a lot because he actually enjoys the company and the stimulation of the media. Thinks it's way too much, that there's way too much access. The reporters, you got to meet us twice a day.
Steve Kerr, when it's all said and done, may be looked at as one of the greatest winners ever. Outside of that one thing with the Ball family, he's very kind to the media.
The Pete Carroll one's interesting because what I remember of Pete Carroll before good guy was laughable failure who made a choke sign at a field goal kicker as either a defensive coordinator for the Jets or as a special teams coach for the Jets. Like, Pete Carroll was a real nobody until he started doing the winning at USC. As a formed man, this is the part that I find interesting. that he gets into. Pete Carroll hasn't been what Bill Belichick was and Saban was, this pipeline of, he's arriving in his 50s as a formed man. I have perspective in the pros. I'm not going to get swallowed by this stuff. I'll handle the media. The media is not going to handle me. You're right. He does give off joy.
Right.
But man, it is suspicious that Pop, Saban, and Belichick, the three best, are also the three worst in this particular department.
Dabo Swinney, another guy.
Hey, these stats are not going to read themselves.
But I asked that question legitimately, though. Is it them or is it us? Because I do feel like having to deal with us all the time would get the kind of annoying that we turn those people into that.
Then stop winning.
Well, Pop is going to help you this year. And,
right.
And Kawhi's going to help you the next couple.
Well, that's great news for Pop. He'll be out in about 3 or 4 nights, and he won't have to deal with the media anymore.
And
Good for him.
And then he'll miss it.
Yeah, exactly. Where's all the coverage?
Dan Le Batard.
Let's play the sound of Taylor Twellman speaking on behalf. Taylor Twellman, excuse me. He's an ESPN analyst who I thought was going to roundhouse kick Matt Brados during the middle of this.
Max.
Mother.
That's a fine.
Mother bleep.
Stugotz.
Sorry, man.
Mother. Yeah, you're sorry.
That's an easy one.
You're sorry.
What'd you call him?
Sorry.
I'm not. What'd you call him?
Joe Brados. He was sitting there next to Tyler Twellman. Let's go to the sound.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. The Dan Le Batard Show is brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. Guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance line. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Knicks are looking at David Fizdale, Mark Jackson, Jerry Stackhouse, David Blatt, and Mike Woodson. My goodness. As potential head coaches. My God.
Mike Woodson.
Yeah. David Blatt. Yep.
Oh, my God.
Yep. Mm-hmm. James Harrison has retired.
Hold on a second, if you could. Mike, what was the joke we were making for about 6 years about Mike Woodson's face? It wouldn't move, right?
His face doesn't move.
No. His face, it doesn't move.
It doesn't matter if it has eyebrows or without eyebrows. Face doesn't move.
All right, Guillermo, put it on the poll. Did Mike Woodson's face ever express anything during his run as a coach?
Also, most hair in a goatee ever.
Yeah.
It was,
so wait a minute. So what was going on with his eyebrows, though? What was he sometimes didn't have eyebrows.
There was a
right?
weird time that he showed up without eyebrows.
Okay. Can we get Mike Woodson on and ask him only about that? Hey, Mike, what happened that one? Or have we? We've already done that, haven't we?
We did that show.
When we did that show.
Let's do it again. It was fun. I have the picture of him here with no eyebrows. It is just glorious. Yeah.
What was his answer? What was his answer to that? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
So, Mina Kimes is going to join us later.
I have another story here.
I know you do.
By the way, you see he threw his name into the ring for Knicks head coach? Meta World Peace.
Oh, we got to get behind that.
Yeah. I mean,
how do we get behind that?
I'm telling you, I'm a lifelong Knicks fan. I desperately want the team to be good again. But I am telling you, I want Meta World Peace to be our coach. If we're going to be bad, let's be bad with him.
You know what? I would love to get behind this campaign, except the last time we talked to Meta World Peace, I'm pretty sure he hates us.
Okay.
Because we asked him a lot of questions about dog poop in his house when he was a Pacer.
All right. And finally, Elon Musk has announced Tesla will be hiring more human employees after automation in its factory hasn't worked out so well for the company. Quote, yes, excessive automation at Tesla was a mistake. To be precise, my mistake. Humans are underrated, Musk said on Twitter. I can tell you, I agree with him that humans are underrated. One human who's not underrated is Elon Musk. He is overrated. Elon Musk is like the celebrity in this country for nothing, for ideas. Name me another celebrity who became a celebrity by doing nothing and simply just having ideas and thoughts. Go ahead. I dare you. I'll wait till the end of time. I'll wait until someone puts a rocket on Mars. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day. Musk.
So Mina Kimes is going to join us in about 20 minutes, and it's because we are trying to be better than Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. We think this, well, not we, Mike and Stugotz and the shipping container, everybody but me loves the draft, loves the mock drafts.
Oh.
I think everything that Kiper and McShay do there, while it's informative, it doesn't help anyone with anything. and it has nothing to do with sports coverage. It's this total manufacturing, as we are an infomercial arm for NFL entertainment, and the customer is such an addict that we just keep birthing personalities who are NFL insiders.
Listen, it helps, man, and we're excited. It's just over a week away, but it helps with Wednesdays. It does. I mean, that's what it does.
Well,
that's what they do.
But what we're saying is we want now to challenge the
Yes.
throne of Kuiper and McShay with someone who is younger and better, because they're the old guard now, man. If we're going to do this stupid, unscientific thing with mock drafts and everything else, Greg Cody has admitted on air that he just took McShay's and Kuiper's drafts. He didn't look at any film. He didn't talk to any scouts. He just looked at their drafts and mixed up the couple of the numbers, and he got a lot more right on predicting the draft than Kuiper and McShay did. That's how unscientific all this is. How unscientific it is before we even reach the executive levels, where it is also unscientific. Right. Where John Elway doesn't actually know very much more than person X about how to find a quarterback.
But Mina's going to take this thing very seriously, right? Like, we know Mina pretty well. Like, she loves this stuff.
Has she ever?
Yes.
But what happened?
She's been an insane person, going back and forth, changing her mind between having a big board or reasonably sized board, a baby board, or a mock draft with trades, without trades, asking me a million questions, would not leave me alone all weekend long. It was insufferable to the point that I regret coming up with this idea.
Really? Already? No, you got to be careful with that, Mike. Mina can be sensitive about that stuff. Like, she's
she's an insane person.
Yeah, I mean, her neuroses is an interesting
One of the
thing.
more neurotic people I have ever met.
Yes. Okay, we can stop doing this to her right now. I'd like to get to her analysis, though, which I believe will be stronger than anything you've heard from McShay and Kuiper. I believe her football knowledge to be better than their. How about that?
Wow.
Well, see, no, here's where you're wrong. Because McShay and Kuiper, they got the goods, man. It's not just the content. It's how they deliver it. And we all know Mina's problems when it comes to delivering the takes.
But the information, I'm not talking about the delivery. The delivery needs a lot of work. I'm talking about...
She needs to bring it with the delivery.
She is good, man.
She's going against the alpha.
When Colin Cowherd, though, comes out this weekend and says, Lamar Jackson, I don't trust him on third down, she batters him with the numbers, with the facts in a way that embarrass Colin Cowherd's analysis.
Right. And those facts are nice, but Mike is right about this. You need to deliver those facts in an entertaining fashion with your hair on fire. You just do. I mean, that's the way you do it. That's how you do it.
Okay.
For many years,
but she's not
Kuiper did that literally.
Yeah. Yes. I remember those years. Mel Kiper Jr. going to join us later in the show to break down Coachella.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
There are a lot of things that happen at Coachella.
Every year.
What were the big things that was it Bay being a headliner, being a cultural icon?
Wow.
Was it Cardi B?
Well, we'll talk to Mel about it later.
What was it? The yodeling
Walmart yodeling kid came out during Weathen's set. That was a thing.
Okay, so we will check in with Mel Kiper Jr. not about the draft. We want our new draft analyst about Coachella in the next hour. We've also got Stugotz's weekend observations in the next hour, and we've got funniest moment of the sports weekend in the next hour. That's a lot of stuff.
It's the funniest thing from the sports weekend.
That's a fine.
That's not a fine.
Just $1.
That's not okay.
Winning at sports and at sports broadcasting means changing things up.
Just like La Quinta Inns and Suites is changing up their look.
A renovated lobby that's so contemporary it even makes Golick look cool.
Yes, it does. And a totally updated fitness center that even has Wingo feeling like a workout.
I'm ripped. Plus plenty of comfortable spaces to hang out.
Yep, this La Quinta look definitely has a vibe of victory.
So you can just relax, refresh, and get ready for your next big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com.
Dan Le Batard.
Some people might think that I love you are the three best words together. For me, that's not what the three best words together are.
Stugotz.
The three best words together are Stugotz just making a point and going, how's that sound? Or a derivative, how about that?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Here, you can eat some of this. How about that? How's that sound? I don't think there are three better words in the language.
I didn't think you guys noticed, man. It's incredible. I'm glad you like it. How about that?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
So I want to give carte blanche to somebody here, Mike, that for that person to call in whenever that person pleases, no matter who we're talking to, no matter what's going on in the show. I am willing for the first time in the history of this show ever to allow one person to barge in at any point. I'll get to that person in a moment. At any point, I want all access for this person. And I'll remind me to get to this. But first, I want to do the stat of the day. And because I want to get to this other story so badly, please play the short one, Mike, the short stat of the day imaging. Thank you.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
Luol Deng scored 2 points and had 1 assist this season. He made $17.2 million. That is $17.2 million for Luol Deng. The season tally, now that we've arrived at the playoffs, for all of his contributions to the Lakers this year, 2 points and 1 assist.
Regular Trey Wingo. Seriously.
Is Trey on vacation again?
Hey, he wasn't there today.
Are you kidding me?
I spoke to him on Friday. He was there. Wasn't it Thursday? Then Friday was there. And today's not there.
How many vacation days does Hal get?
Got the draft coming up. I'm sure he's getting ready for that. So it's absurd. It really is. But whatever.
I'm telling you, the way that Stugotz has gotten involved in that relationship with the morning show has been fascinating. Because now I don't know how you this is strange. Everything that's happened to us at ESPN is strange. Slate writes this giant article about us that none of us deserve, that is about how we're the best radio show in America now.
Little too long.
It was too long. It's an amazing piece, though. It was, if you like our show, go find Slate, because I can't believe somebody wasted their time. And not only somebody, that guy, the guy who was like a writer for The Office and created Parks and Rec, to waste that many words writing about our show.
Incredibly flattering. Headline, though, probably a little too short. You know what could have made it longer? My name being included in it.
I felt bad about that part.
That's all right, man.
Well,
it's a flattering piece.
It was. It was nice. But the point being that we've arrived. It's been announced. Slate Magazine said so. We're the biggest thing, man. And so we can push around now Golic and Wingo. That's not something that could have been done before. And Stugotz somehow is embedded in that entire relationship, so embedded that he loves texting Golic, hey, you seem to have more fun when Hal's not around. Like, he's just burying Golic, and everyone loves Stugotz, because at the end of everything that happens here, Stugotz will be the last one standing after he's devoured all of us.
Just a little seed planting, Dan, that's all.
For future endeavors?
You never know, you know. Listen, I love Golic, and I love Hal, and I love Adnan, who is filling in today. I just like poking those guys. I like annoying all the shows on ESPN. I do. It's fun. And they don't seem to mind, which is great.
It's such a great character. And this is why, Mike, it leads me to the person who should have carte blanche to call into this radio show. Whenever
Dan, am I the guy that gets carte blanche?
No, you are not. You're not the guy. No, get him out of here. I don't know how you always breach the system. I don't know how you do that.
I thought you were giving an olive branch here. Finally,
no, it is
I'm
not.
the guy. Whenever I want to talk, I want to opine on matters. I'm going to call it, and you're going to give me a forum. That's what I was told. That's a great day.
No, you've been told wrong. You've got misinformation. I don't know who reported that. That report you'll hear from my lawyers. Get an Adnan out of here.
For the love of carte blanche. Call in.
No, the one I want to give carte blanche is Stugotz's wife.
Oh, boy.
There have been so many times.
Can we get Adnan back?
There are so many times where she's objecting to something that he's saying by text, and it would be funny if she just called in, wiped him out, and just ended him. Like, I just think that no matter what, she had some stuff during that interview with Ice Cube that she wanted to bury him on.
I was saying, Mike, I was asking Ice Cube, he's been married 25 years. We were asking him the keys to a great relationship, a great marriage, and I was telling him how I'm not going to make it to the 16th year. And Abby wanted to call in and say, you don't have to wonder. You're right. You're not making it to the 16th year. Just in, out, get out. And I keep telling her it's fine. You have a license to rip me. So go ahead.
Oh, be careful with that arm, Stugotz. You're waving it around with your sausage fingers.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like, come on, man. Yeah. What's the matter with you?
Sorry. Ooh, it hurts. So anyway, she's hesitant to do it, Mike, and I think you just got to talk to her because I think what she gets hesitant about is she doesn't like the back and forth with me and her. Because it always turns into a fight on air, and then it trickles into our house when I get home.
You're still moving that hand all over the place. You're not stopped at all.
Sorry.
It's in a...
Do you not know how a sling works?
I don't. And so anyway, I want her to feel free and liberated to call in and just let it fly. Get in, get out. That's it.
If you want to talk like Michael Caine, you must only say a few words at a time.
Get him out of here, please. Thank you.
Get him back.
Less Adnan. Oh, for the love of God. Less Adnan, more Abby, more Stephen A. Smith, please. More Stephen A. Smith. More Abby, less Adnan.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
I can't believe I blew that. Happy 71st birthday. That's a fine. To Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
So what do we do here, Mike? Because I think you need to talk to Abby. I know you guys aren't on speaking terms right now because you lied on my behalf, but we got to figure something out.
What are we going to do?
She's very shy. Very shy.
It's weird, though. Not on air. She's never shy on air.
It's getting her to the point where she can come on
but
air.
But this is the thing, though, and this is what we need to capitalize on. We need to profit off of it. She is never shy about blasting her husband.
Every deck is made for standing on, but there's only one that's always had a way of standing out. So if you're looking to bring more style, comfort, and creativity to your life outdoors, call on the brand that's known for making the most in outdoor living. From decking, railing, and lighting to furniture, fencing, and framing, at Trex, we're engineering what's next in outdoor living. To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, call 1-800-289-TREX or visit Trex.com. That's TREX.com.
Don Batard.
Tom Ricketts is saying that the Cubs will not allow Sammy Sosa back into that organization for anything moving forward until he comes clean. And what I find absurd about that, and what a hypocrite this guy is that family made hundreds of millions of dollars off the name Sammy Sosa. By the way, never tested positive for steroid use. And if he was using steroids, which we all assume that he was, my guess is if he was using it, the Ricketts family had an inkling that was going on in their own clubhouse. And for him to come out many, many years later and say Sammy Sosa must come clean for us to allow him back into our prestigious organization, our club, get out of here with that.
Stugotz.
Yeah, Ricketts didn't make money off Sammy Sosa. He won the bid in 2009. This was post-Sammy Sosa.
Well, that ruins my argument.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance with more than 30 unique coverage options available. Progressive knows small business. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. Mina Kimes will join us in 1 hour. We had to push her back 1 hour because she is so busy taking this so seriously. Her NFL draft, big board, little board, whatever it's going to be.
Needed more time. Needed another hour of prep
an extra
before
hour.
Unveiling it.
Yep, she's taking this thing seriously. So she'll join us here on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line at noon Eastern. The NBA playoffs are on ESPN Radio. Tune in tonight as Kevin Durant and the defending champion Warriors host the Spurs. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern on most ESPN radio stations. Here's your SportsCenter update. Stanley Cup playoffs, Penguins over the Flyers to take a 2-1 lead. Wild beat the Jets. And they are down 2-1 in that series. Blue Jackets beat the Capitals in overtime again to take a 2-0 series lead. And the Golden Knights beat the Kings to take a 3-0 series lead. It's a fun story. Game 3s tonight. Bruins at Maple Leafs. Lightning at Devils. Predators at Avalanche.
Whoa.
Wow, what happened there?
Good God. Well,
Hurt my
clearly
neck.
a fencer came in here and stabbed you right in the gut. Clearly.
Whoa. Play that back.
Oh, my God. What happened? You hit a speed bump with your face?
I think so. And ducks at sharks. And finally, a 7-foot, half-human, half-animal beast has left Argentinian residents terrified after the creature apparently savaged 2 dogs. The unknown creature is said to roam the streets at night and is not shy of confrontation, according to the super-duper reputable tabloid, the Daily Star. So for only one blurry picture has been snapped of this very real creature, one can surmise from the totally authentic photo that this incredible beast is somehow immune to making shadows. More on this story as it develops.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. Seriously, you have this team, this Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, it's unbelievable. Their first year in the NHL, and they are just tearing through the league. Did it during the regular season. They become America's team. In the absence of my Islanders being there, and, occasionally I root for the Rangers every now and then because I got some friends who are Ranger fans, I am all in on this Vegas team. Let's make it America's team. Are you in? This is a fun season.
Yes, I'm in.
All right.
I want Vegas to be what the Nashville Predators were last year. I want to get behind Vegas. First-year team, go wreck the sport. Kick Canada in the junk.
Yeah. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
All right, so how do we get behind these causes? How does our marching band to nowhere get behind both Meta World Peace for Knicks coach, Vegas Golden Knights, the sweetest story in sports? How do we do it? Tell me how to do it. The Vegas Golden Knights will team up with us. They'll give us stuff. They'll take whatever it is we give them.
Yes, they will. This is America's team. If your favorite hockey team is not in the playoffs, Roy, your favorite hockey team is the Panthers, right?
Listen to me. We have to crush Canada from the desert sand with a first-year team, Las Vegas. We have to get behind this thing.
None of my teams are in the playoffs. Not the Panthers, not the Blackhawks, not the Sabres. None of them.
You would agree this is the most popular team, right? This is the team you can get behind, right? You're rooting for this team?
Absolutely.
Right, and you can't have 3 teams that you're a fan of. Right?
Boy, what kind of crock is that? What is that? What kind of fandom is that? Like, pick a side, man. You can't go into the playoffs and hedge your bets. What are you doing?
You can. Yes, you absolutely can.
No, what? I don't even understand that level of fandom. $2. Get out of here.
Wow.
Yes, it's offensive. What is that?
I gotta leave now because I'm a fan of 3 teams. Oh my God.
Yep. It's against the rules, man.
It's against.
That's 2 minutes in the box.
How do you have so many teams and still not get in the playoffs? Why don't you root for any good teams?
In a sport where everyone makes the playoffs.
Am I wrong about this? You can't have 3 favorite teams in a sport. What is that? First of all, man, Roy's confusing. Again, Roy is to the best of our knowledge for many years, and maybe this is because we were sheltered and we just grew up in a cul-de-sac, but Roy was the only black hockey fan we knew. Any of us. And then he had a black hockey off with a caller who defeated him in a black hockey off and was declared national champion of, hockey being cared about by black people. And now we've come to learn that he's got 3 bleeping favorite teams.
How do you have 3 favorite teams, dude? You can do that with Mexican food, though. I like the Mexican pizza, the chimichangas, the burritos, the enchiladas. They're all so great. By the way, you see the Columbus Blue Jackets, dude? This is United States of Tortorella. Team is fast.
Does Death Metal Hockey Guy have any thoughts on everything that happened in hockey this weekend?
Contractually obliged to not be in the same room. I have a restraining order.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Full 100-yard restraining order. Wow.
Okay,
It's dangerous, dude. Totally bad vibes. Totally bad vibes.
Death Metal Hockey Guy does have so many bad vibes. All right, well, you get out of here, hockey guy, surfer guy who's far away from the mic. If you haven't Googled this, go ahead and look at Matthew McConaughey's newest project. A lot of people think that that's what hockey guy who stands far away from the mic looks like.
Digging the aesthetic.
There are pictures of Matthew McConaughey all over the internet. I'm assuming it's a movie he's trying out for.
You can't be too sure.
You can't.
Never
Didn't
know.
he have an arrest for playing nude bongos in Austin one time? Like, wasn't Matthew McConaughey arrested for playing the bongos naked somewhere in Austin, Texas? Why are those details so specific in my mind?
I don't know. I'm on it, though.
That arrest might be 10 to 15 years old. Me bringing up Matthew McConaughey's past.
Well, there was weed involved.
Yeah.
He was
synthetic weed, like the stuff that gets the athletes in trouble.
No. He doesn't mess around.
No, wait a minute.
The headlines were dazed and confused.
Mm-hmm. And what's the story?
Well, I'm going to click on an interview. He shares what he learned from the arrest. That has to be fascinating.
Okay, but what is this role that he's preparing for? Because that's what I imagine hockey guy who stands
It
far
made me
away.
want to go to his IMDb and try to piece together what it could possibly be.
Wow.
Stugotz's weekend observations are going to be here in 10 minutes. You never want to miss those. It's the most popular thing we do every week.
The arrest was in 1999. It is amazing that you are.
Was it in Austin?
I don't think it was in Austin. I'm checking still, but it was back in 1999. And Mike is right. There was weed involved.
All right. But no, weed doesn't make you play. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Does weed make you play the bongos naked? Because weed doesn't do that.
That movie, it was a toss-up because there's 2 movies in production, and it could have been either The Beach Bum or White Boy Rick.
No, it's got to be the beach
But
bum.
it's The Beach Bum.
Okay, yeah, okay. So anyways, that's what that guy looks like. But I would love, am I going to get 30 seconds of death metal hockey coverage once we get the surfer guy out of the room and the restraining order?
I'm enjoying my time here, dude.
I know, but we need to get you out of here because I want to
The
hear.
tubes are great.
I know, but the death metal hockey guy is the guy I want to talk to about what happened in hockey.
Well,
this
when I
weekend.
get 100 yards away, you'll be able to talk to him.
All right, well, please hurry. I hope I can't hear
only
you.
about 80 yards away.
Okay, well, keep going though. Go 100.
I'll keep paddling out,
All
dude.
right.
Don't dare me.
Good. Yes,
You
that's
saw the way Bodie went out at
That's
Point
fine.
Break?
That's fine. Just like that. Yes,
It's a 50-year storm coming, brah.
101 yards out.
Just let me ride it one last time. Tell me vaya con Dios.
All right. So, Stugotz, can you tell whether hockey guy who's far away from the mic has surfed out far enough to avoid?
I'm actually closer now, dude.
A lot closer.
Way closer.
Too close.
Wait a minute. You know,
Riptide's
is
out
it the
there,
current? Is it the current?
Current's carrying me closer.
But I thought that you were somebody who knew how to navigate these.
Stay away from the Portuguese man of war.
Guillermo, paddle out here and go get hockey guy and have him go further 101 yards out so that we can.
The synopsis for The Beach Bum is a rebellious stoner named Moondog lives his life by his own rules.
I'm seeing the pictures right now. Like, are they just filming him in his natural habitat? Like, what is it?
It co-stars Snoop Dogg. What is, the trailers?
McConaughey, wait a minute, Mike, which is your favorite photo? Because I love the all black onesie with flames all over the place.
It's actually not the it's actually not the best one. I like. He has reading glasses that are draped around his neck. He has a floral print. It's incredible. He plays Moondog. Snoop Dogg plays a guy named Lingerie.
Thank you, Mike.
Martin Lawrence is in it. He plays Captain Whack.
Wow. Martin Lawrence. When's the last time Martin Lawrence was in something?
Can look that up right now, actually. What was it, Big Mama's House 4?
Speaking of creative arrests, didn't Martin Lawrence have one in the streets of Los Angeles right around the time that Matthew McConaughey was having his naked bongos meltdown? Wasn't it in the street or something? What are the details on that? Where he was just running around, Martin Lawrence, in what appeared to be also a synthetic weed state.
I can only look up so many stories at once, man. He hasn't done anything in a while, by the way, Martin Lawrence.
Where's he been? Did he go crazy? Because that street arrest is about the point where I stopped paying attention.
He's been sitting around waiting for the Bad Boys sequels that they announced 5 years ago, but they haven't gotten to filming, and they better get on that because Will Smith is out here looking like Uncle Phil.
But they've been announced. He's got 2 major projects in the works here. Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys 4. They've been announced.
Yeah, that's what I
just said. That.
I know. I'm just saying. They're 2 big ones. You had
one.
I'm telling you, there's multiple projects.
Yeah, that's
there.
what I said. Are you trying to lie your way around not listening?
You weren't listening.
Yes.
All right, we will play those sounds back in a second, and also we will play the sounds of Stugotz really just getting poked by a fencer in the middle of the Sports Center update. And also, Guillermo, put it on the poll, is Will Smith out here looking like Dr. Phil?
Uncle Phil.
No!
Fine.
Damn it!
This show ain't free. Time for some ads.
Unbelievable. I had the joke.
Michael.
I'm getting old, man.
What are you doing?
I'm getting old is what I'm doing.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised. On a street.
What happened? What happened?
$2.
$2 penalty box. Oh, man, we all had it.
Where I spend most of my days.
All right, the crutches are falling, and so are the Pablo's face just fell on the ground.
Chilling out, Max. And
Boo! Boo, Chris Cody, boo!
With a couple of guys who were up to no good. Started making trouble in the neighborhood.
The Capital One Venture Card is specifically designed to help you earn rewards when you travel. So take advantage when you go out of town.
I got in one little fight and my mama got scared. So you're moving with your auntie and uncle and brother.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases.
I whispered for a cab, and when it came near, the license plates had fresh had a dust in the mirror.
And you can use those miles towards any travel expenses like flights, hotels, rental cars, and more.
If anything, I thought that this cab was rare, but I thought, no, forget it, you're home to Bella.
Just book and pay for your travel using your Venture Card and redeem your miles towards the cost.
I pulled up to a house about 7 a.m. to the cab, you're home, smell you later.
Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Look at my kingdom, I was finally there. Sit on my throne, as the principal there.
Credit approval required.
That's the end of the song.
Capital One Bank USA N.A. Hi, everyone. Stugotz here. Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you're confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, and your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you that same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. With Rocket Mortgage, you can apply simply and understand fully so you can mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz, STUGOTZ, equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard.
Chris, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
I got Tyron Smith, I'm sorry. They were talking back here, so they were making me a little nervous.
Don't make excuses.
Tyron Smith holding a football in his hands. It looked so small.
Stugotz.
Wow, you limped in with that effort, Chris.
I got rattled right before I went on air, and I'm just going to turn my mic off.
All right.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
I promised you Stugotz's weekend observations here, but I lied to you. It's going to be 10 minutes from now because we went long last segment because we had to get the hockey analysis that was vital from the surfer character and death metal hockey guy.
You want to make sure on a Monday you cover everything that happened over the weekend, and we just did. I mean, we needed our hockey talk.
But also on a Monday, you want to cover arrests by celebrities in the 1990s. So in 1996, with a pistol in his pocket, comedian Martin Lawrence ran into traffic on busy Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks, cursing and screaming at oncoming cars until he was taken away by police. A witness said the actor was cursing, waving his hands and yelling, "Fight the establishment." Lawrence tried to fight off the police when they attempted to restrain him. And that is about the point. Like Martin Lawrence was climbing, you get these very small windows in Hollywood. Very small.
Right.
They're very small.
Well, he had he climbed through it pretty successfully. He had a nice run there.
No, but what I'm saying is when you parlay it from there to TV and movie fame, and like he had the world by the grapefruits where he was climbing and he was going to get every part because he was the hot black comedian and we generally only allow one of those at a time. And he was the one. Seriously, you got a fat one, you got a lady, you got a black one, and we only allow one at a time.
Right. And it's Kevin Hart right now?
I don't know. I don't know. Who is it right now? Because Kevin Hart is now on the other side of diluted and, putting his face on underwear. And
Tiffany Haddish is having a moment right now. It's her moment. She's out here revealing people are biting Beyonce and whatnot.
Right. We should talk about the NBA playoffs, though. What happened to LeBron yesterday was jarring. It's not something you've seen before. And if you were skeptical about this team before that, it did nothing to remove that skepticism this weekend. LeBron James has never had a team play like that in a home playoff opener.
He hasn't, but
that was their worst offensive performance of this entire season.
Well, they had 2 quarters in which they scored less than 15 points, but they still have. I mean, listen, everyone's saying no one should be surprised by what happened if you've been watching Indiana all year. Well, excuse me. They've had 2 national TV games, and no, I haven't been sitting around watching Pacer basketball all year, but I have watched LeBron his entire career. And as bad as that looked yesterday, he's still by far the best player on the court every time he steps on the court, especially in that series. and they'll be fine.
Well,
and I'm telling media members right now, because I know they swayed back, if you're going to pick anyone other than the Cavaliers to make it out of the East, because it's an easy thing to do today, I'm telling you, I'm watching. We're all watching. And I have taken notes. And I'm going to blast you when the Cavs are playing the Warriors in the NBA Finals. I'll tell you that right now. Just be on the lookout.
I will say that one of the things that I will be on the lookout for is what LeBron decides that he wishes to do with Victor Oladipo. That's still one of my favorite. Even I can't believe I'm saying it after all these years, but at the end with Michael Jordan, on top of everything else he was doing offensively, your best guy was getting him on defense. And Victor Oladipo, if he continues, because the Pacers don't have a lot of other options to go get their scoring, I look forward to seeing whenever that materializes, where LeBron decides, okay, Victor, enough of that.
Right. Bojan Bogdanovic is going to have to beat us.
Somebody else is going to have to do it. It's not going to be like that. But let's go to analysis from Stugotz in the last segment. Stugotz Not Listening is a marvel of modern history. He's a broadcaster who does not use his ears, and so things like this happen in the last segment.
He hasn't done anything in a while, by the way, Martin Lawrence.
Where's he been? Did he go crazy?
He's been sitting around waiting for the Bad Boys sequels that they announced 5 years ago, but they haven't gotten to filming, and they better get on that because Will Smith is out here looking like Uncle Phil.
But they've been announced. He's got 2 major projects in the works here. Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys 4.
That's amazing.
They've been announced.
Mike,
that's what I just said.
That.
I know, just saying.
Get the pantheon of things that he doesn't listen to, and we'll get to his weekend observations in a second. But there are so many good things here on things you don't listen to. But what would you rather play, Mike? The things that Stugotz doesn't listen to, or that sound where that fencer came in here and stabbed him in the kidney?
Dan Le Batard.
Bill Belichick has told his players that despite the blizzard that's expected in the New England area, the Patriots will hold its final practices during its playoff bye week. No excuses for being late. Moron.
Stugotz.
Don't do that.
Sorry. No excuses for being late. I'm sorry.
If he needs it, you got to give it to him. He's helping Bill.
He is displaying behavior, that of a moron. That's all I'm saying. Save it. We're good. You kick, save, and abuse.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Time now for Stugotz's weekend observations.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Download the free Vivid Seat app today to get your tickets. Dan, 99-80 loss in Game 1 of the first round. The LeBron leaving Cleveland plan has officially begun. Wait, Mark Sanchez is using performance enhancers and is still that bad? Mark Sanchez, Instagram post, should have said, hey, have you ever seen me play? Does it look like I have some sort of competitive edge? Adam Silver said, there is still more work to be done to stop tanking. Commissioner, don't reward teams for being bad. Work done. You're welcome. Danny Amendola, do me a favor. Bash Bill Belichick when you're playing for Bill Belichick. Not after and not impressed. Kristaps Porzingis said the Knicks players need to trust the front office. That's cute. He still doesn't get it yet. He'll learn. Kelly Craft giving new definition to getting a birdie in golf. Hear about that one?
No.
He hit a bird and got a bogey. Matt Harvey, fake ace. Can you imagine how good the Mets would be if they didn't have to trot Matt Harvey out there every 5th day? Can't believe the Pacers are still coming at teams with Lance Stevenson. Gotta hand it to the Knicks for thinking out of the box with their head coaching search. Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, and wait for it, Mike Woodson. Meta World Peace said he'd like to be the next Knicks head coach. Please make this happen. If we're going to be bad, let's be bad with Meta World Peace. The Philadelphia Eagles released cornerback Darryl Worley after he was arrested for being passed out in his car that was blocking a highway. Tough stance by the Eagles, and a stance that would be completely different if the person found in that car was Carson Wentz.
Yeah, probably.
Yep. I once there. Phillies, Angels, World Series, collision course, LeBron James, do it in the postseason. 300 years ago, when Rick Pitino was dreaming of becoming a head coach, I guarantee you, he never imagined coaching for Siena. Siena should be ashamed of itself if it hires Rick Pitino. Miami Heat, do you see now why you should have wanted the Celtics and not the Sixers? A sentence I never thought I would say. LeBron James was outplayed in a playoff game by Victor Oladipo. A sure sign LeBron is about to leave your team. The meaningless triple-double. He does every time. You're aware of that, right? He tricked you in that Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics with that meaningless triple-double. You thought he was trying. I was telling you he wasn't. He wasn't. He took his jersey off and joined the Heat. And then he started trying again until he stopped trying in that series against San Antonio, his final season with the Heat. He stopped trying. I don't care what anyone tells me. Siena, you're a Catholic school. My advice would be to make your crucifixes even more prominent. Des Bryant, Philadelphia Eagles, collision course. MLB, on Fox, tweeted out yesterday, Kershaw doing Kershaw things. Here's an idea. How about Kershaw do Kershaw things in the postseason? Anyone else starting to not like Gregg Popovich? I mean, seriously, get over yourself. Siena, nothing but night games. Collision course. You know what the K in Chris Middleton stands for? Clutch. Oklahoma City Thunder, dangerous. Rockets, good. Not championship good. Raptors postseason, never easy. Blazers, bust. Karl Anthony Towns, do it in the postseason. If there's still a media member left who doesn't think LeBron James is getting out of the East, last chance. And don't say it today because the Army is always watching. You know what me and Chris Paul had in common yesterday? We both sat back and watched James Harden carry the Rockets to a Game 1 victory. Chris Paul, -4. CP3, more like CP, -4. Cleveland Cavaliers, wake-up call. You know what the Pacers did? Punched the Cavs right in the nose. Siena, blood shortage, collision course. You know what the O in Ovechkin stands for? O for his career in the postseason. If Siena hires Rick Pitino, it will undoubtedly suck the life out of Albany County. Bats, mysterious disappearances, ghouls, NCAA infractions. Ghouls. It's going to be hell on earth. Ghouls. And speaking of hell, Art Briles would like to know if your football team is hiring.
Yeah.
Dan, those are the weekend
Yes.
observations.
Ghouls is a funny word, but put it on the poll, Guillermo. Is ghouls a funny word?
Winning at sports and at sports broadcasting means changing things up.
Just like La Quinta Inns and Suites is changing up their look.
A renovated lobby that's so contemporary it even makes Golick look cool.
Yes, it does. And a totally updated fitness center that even has Wingo feeling like a workout.
I'm ripped. Plus plenty of comfortable spaces to hang out.
Yeah, this La Quinta look definitely has a vibe of victory.
So you can just relax, refresh, and get ready for your next big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com.
Don Le Batard.
Do you refer to the yellow sauce at a hibachi restaurant as yum-yum sauce? 57% of the audience said no.
Stugotz.
Do you go ginger, yum-yum, 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 or yum-yum, 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 yum-yum? 38% of the audience said yum-yum, yum-yum, yum-yum. So they get 3 yum-yum sauces. They ditch the ginger, get 2 yum-yums with an additional yum-yum. Second place was ginger yum-yum. That Chris said earlier, no one goes ginger. 18% of the audience goes ginger. And 18% of the audience also goes yum. About that.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
The Dan Le Batard Show is brought to you by Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Download the free Vivid Seats app today to get your tickets.
So do I have this right? Did the Rockets win by 3? Did the Rockets win by 3 points against the 8th-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves? Chris Paul didn't play well. I want to analyze for a moment the amount of times.
The Rockets did win by 3. The final play call by Tom Thibodeau and the execution by Jimmy Butler was an absolute joke. Just a joke. They're down 3, full length of the court. Jimmy Butler, he dribbles, doesn't look for anyone, takes a spin around, turn around, shot fade away that he thought was a 3, but was actually a deep 2. Even if it had gone in, they still lose the game by 1. It was the worst call I've ever seen.
Well, wow. Okay.
I'm telling Dan, it was brutal.
Okay. Wait, though. Just wait.
Okay.
Because
sorry.
I want to have some fun with this.
All right. Sorry.
So
I took it seriously.
That's the last possession of the game, and we will analyze it as such.
We don't have to. I just did.
No, you did. That's what I'm saying. But that is the analysis of the end of that game. Thibodeau's a bum. Jimmy Butler's a jerk. And what I want to ask you about is the idea that earlier in that game, after weeks of analysis of playoff intensity basketball and experience wins, and the thing that matters in the postseason is you can reach the intensity of the playoffs, and it's a more important time. In that same game, decided by one possession, both teams seemed to forget on a free throw that they were playing basketball. That was also a possession in that game. Yeah. I guess it's more important than the last one, but I don't see from watching the video of both teams simply forgetting on a free throw that they were playing basketball, what the free throw situation was, wandering around the court with a missed free throw. A guy was traveling all over the place, and next thing you know, fast break, and the referees are good with it.
Mike, I don't know if you saw this, but Karl Anthony Towns grabs the rebound, and he goes to hand it to a referee. And the referee, because he doesn't know what's going on, and Karl Anthony Towns walked, by the way, and the referee is like, no, I don't want this, like it's hot potato. And then they realize they're playing a basketball game. Then Mike D'Antoni is outraged because he wants to walk a traveling call on Karl Anthony Towns. It's really funny.
Led to a fast break dunk. Chris Paul also had a moment. Chris Paul's played in a lot of playoff games. A really bizarre turnover late to set up that awful Jimmy Butler shot. Yep. These are teams, I know Minnesota is an 8th seed, but they're not terrible.
Right.
It was weird to see such bad basketball being played.
Minnesota is an 8th seed that could be, there's a couple of bounces from being a 3 seed.
Right.
So I want to talk some NBA basketball today. But Mina Kimes is going to join us in 10 minutes, and she's an ESPN senior magazine writer, and she's a very good journalist, and we are really interviewing her, I guess, for the job of person who is better than Kuiper and McShay. ESPN needs some new blood. This is some tired blood. This is a tired time in media. People are struggling all over the place. We need some new blood around here. So Mina Kimes is going to join us. She'll take your calls if you have draft questions. I'm telling you that she knows as much as these people. I'm telling you that McShay and Kuiper do not know more than Mina Kimes. I've talked to her enough about football to just sort of, if I say something about football, Mina comes back with a set of facts that make me just retreat and say, I am wrong.
Right.
Whatever I thought is wrong because the facts she's presenting are facts that are not up for dispute. My argument is wrong.
I mean, she takes it very seriously. Like, she'll send me texts, like the Jets will sign a guard, and I have no idea who he is, and I don't know that they signed a guard. And she's asking me, hey, what do you think of the Jets signing? And I'm like,
but Mike, the problem with this is she's also scared. She's not a good hot taker. McShay and Kuiper have so much confidence built over the years. They both are coated in television's veneer gloss.
It's all about the presentation when it comes to the draft expert. I don't really care what you're saying. Just say it well.
No, but see, that's where I understand you're in the entertainment business. You are a content producer. You are a magician. I want good information. I don't care how it's presented. Give me good information on something that I did not know. I prefer that to just bombast or, all the things that McShay and Kuiper have gotten wrong all the years without somehow doing damage to any of their credibility.
Right.
Well, if you're coming for the king, you best not miss.
Exactly.
You better dress it up if you're coming for Kuiper. Because King Kuiper.
Fair enough. 786-456-4837 is the telephone number. If you want, if you have draft questions, football questions for Mina Kimes, ESPN, the magazine senior writer.
I'm not listening anyway, so I don't care about the information. I just want delivery, and I want hair on fire. That's what I want. I mean, listen, with my draft analysis, I'm telling you right now.
That's not who she is, though.
I love Mina. I'm not going to be listening, so it's all in the presentation.
All right.
It is.
Well, we'll see how this goes with Mina Kimes. Last time we put this kind of pressure on her. Again, the call number is 786-456-4837. It was at Mall of the America. That's a fine. Which one is it? It's that Minnesota mall. She was climbing up to a zip line. She was
Mall of America.
Filled with terror.
Yeah.
She was just horrified, and this is how it went.
She's still with us?
That was her analysis. I believe it was solid analysis, right? About what needed to happen in the Super Bowl. We didn't understand much of it, but solid it was. Mike, how's this going to go? You've been dealing with Mina all weekend. She's not
so
confident.
neurotic. I'm not sure this is going to go well, Dan, just because I think she's going to psych herself out.
You're not going to get takes the way Stugotz wants them. Maybe Stugotz will help her?
Yeah, hopefully you can help her along here, because if you're coming for Kuiper, you need to give me
Stugotz,
some
you need to be a
Kuiper.
translator. You need to sort of explain to her. We need to teach her some. Take her information, but you teach her how to deliver it if she's not delivering it.
I got her back. I'll help her out any way I can.
All right. Zip line. We are going down a metaphorical draft zip line next.
Decking, railing, lighting, furniture, fencing, framing. At Trex, we make the most in outdoor living because you deserve to get more from your life outdoors. So why not start bringing your ideas to life now with the brand that's engineering what's next? To learn more about all of the outdoor solutions Trex has to offer, or to find a local retailer or a certified Trex Pro deck builder near you, visit Trex.com. That's Trex.com.
Don Le Batard.
Stugotz lies so much, and he doesn't take inventory of his lies, that even when he's telling the truth, we don't believe him on anything. What's wrong, Stugotz? What are you objecting to?
I mean, listen, I've done this to myself, so I'm frustrated at myself. I'm not going to lash out elsewhere because I understand why everyone would think that I was the one who did this. But I am sitting here telling you guys that I did not do it.
Stugotz.
You absolutely took a bite out of a piece of pizza and put it back with the rest of the pizza.
It was me.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
So Mina Kimes is now our draft expert, and we're going to take calls for her. We're going to... What was that?
No, when you do this, you have to have an evil laugh, and she has one. Yeah.
Okay, all right, very good. Mike, so she's got 60 pages of notes. Is that what you told me?
60 pages
All right,
of
let's
notes.
see if we can get through all of it in the next 10 minutes. Are you ready? Mina, what's your level of confidence right now?
It's high. You want me to start from 32 and just work my way down?
Yeah.
No explanation?
She made, we were getting in this heated debate as to whether or not she needed a big board or a mock draft, and she settled on having a mock draft.
All right, well, hold on a second. So we're going to reveal what her mock draft is on the air, or are we going to take calls for her to see if she's worthy of having a reveal of that kind?
Well, I would go with her top 10, her standard top 10. I know she's done the entire first round, so we can have callers come in after we do the top 10 of the mock. And keep in mind, Mina took this so seriously, she included trades in her mock draft.
Okay, so let's...
3 trades.
Whoa.
2 trades.
Whoa.
3.
3 trades. All right, well, let's do this. Are we going to do this with the appropriate fanfare? Okay, this is very exciting. I hear her breath. She sounds like she's breathing hard. She's gotten nervous. I can hear it.
She's breathing fire. That's what she's breathing.
Not breathing fire. You need to help her breathe fire. She does not. I think her confidence.
No, I'm breathing fire. That was fire you heard.
Okay, very good. That's fire.
Yeah.
Number 10. Who has got the 10th pick in the draft, and who does Mina Kimes say that team is going to take with the 10th pick in the draft?
I have the Raiders taking Josh Jackson, ball hockey cornerback from Iowa.
Whoa. Tell me about him. What do you like about him? Tell me about that man.
Just an absolute ball hawk. 8 interceptions, 18 pass breakups, 6'1", great disciplined defender, just a perfect plug-and-play guy.
Number 9. Wow, Stugotz is proud. Number 9. Ball hawk is key to any analysis. Number 9, according to Mina Kimes, is...
Okay. The Niners taking Roquan Smith, linebacker, Georgia.
Tell me about him.
He's a little bit small at 6'1", super athletic, almost like a Bobby Wagner. Again, day 1 starter.
Wow. Almost like a Bobby Wagner. There are not a lot of Bobby Wagners out there.
That's why she said almost.
That's a high compliment for me.
Almost like a Bobby Wagner.
Listen, when
is
you're
the
doing
highest
this,
of compliments.
when you do this, you don't commit to being Bobby Wagner. You just say almost, and everyone thinks he's going to be the next Bobby
All right,
Wagner.
very good. Excellent. Number 8, according to Mina Kimes, senior writer for what's happening here? Is that fire or is that nerves?
Fire.
No, it's fire.
Number 8,
Definitely not
according
nerves.
to Mina Kimes.
Minka Fitzpatrick from Alabama.
Whoa.
Wow. Tell us about him.
Well, he kind of plays all over the place, outside corner, inside safety. I think the Bears could just really use a versatile defensive back like him.
Nice. I have him higher, but
Really?
take it. Yeah.
You want to care to argue about it? Number 7, according to Mina Kimes.
Derwin James, safety out of FSU.
Where are the trades? Where are these 3 promised trades?
They were later. Well, there's one at the top.
And where's he going? Where is he going? To what team?
Oh, the Bucks.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
this is a very popular pick. He's like a Landon Collins type, probably one of the top 2 defenders in the draft.
A Landon Collins type. That's an important phrase to use, right?
Probably,
He comps.
Yes, that's pretty. That's high
I
praise.
thought that was like what pro draft guys do, comps.
No, they do, yeah. And then, you say, listen, he might turn into the next Landon Collins. You're doing a very good job here. You want to say with a safety, though, he really brings the wood. It's one of those things you just want to say with a safety, okay?
Yeah.
Brings the wood.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Write that down.
Nah, I think that's different. Okay,
I wrote it down.
Number 6 and number 5.
And you know what wood's
We're
good
at
for?
6.
Fire.
All right, Wood's.
Okay.
All right, what's next? What was that? A snort? What was that?
I was clearing my breath to breathe more fire. At number 6, we've got the Colts taking Bradley Chubb, the defensive end out of NC State.
Wow, I love
him. Tripping over my words.
I love
there.
him. It's okay.
But why do you have Chubb? Just out of curiosity, you have him slipping a little bit because a lot of people think maybe he's a top 3 pick.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Well, you'll find out why I have him there. But he's the best defender in the draft, no question. Myles Garrett, almost as good as him. Just absolute monster.
Okay, but can you tell us more? I'll find out.
No, it's all coming together.
Okay, spoiler alert. I'm sorry. All right, that's my bad. What's next here?
All right. At 5, I have the Broncos taking Quentin Nelson, the guard out of Notre Dame.
What? A guard? Mina, slow down, Mina.
The best offensive line prospect we've seen in several seasons. So talented, good at blocking for the run and the pass. You can start him immediately.
How are his feet?
Really good.
Tell me he's a
really
mauler.
good feet.
Tell me he's a mauler.
Is he a mauler?
He's a mauler.
He's a
Can
mauler.
he operate in a phone booth?
What?
He brings the reverse wood.
Oh,
Okay. What?
man.
Wait, what? Guillermo, put it on the poll. Can you draft a guard top 5 in football? No.
People have been doing that for years.
No. What? Who?
Look at the 2013 draft.
I don't want guards on my team. I could go get a guard. Richie Incognito, I could go ahead and get him off the trash heap and throw him there and get 3 Pro Bowls. Anyway.
Well, you'd have to pay him.
Yeah, there's that.
It's me
This guy, you really got to look at him. He's the best guard we've seen. I'm going to say 10 years.
Okay.
Those were tackles who went in 2013.
Mina, what does that mean?
No, it's one of those things you say. You say the last time. No one's paying attention. No one's going to go back.
It's so hard to find an offensive lineman who can start immediately these days because of the offenses they play in college. This kid can start immediately. Yeah. He is that good.
Wow. Yeah. Jarring statement by Mina Kimes, senior writer for ESPN The Magazine. What's next?
Hold on. What about the phone booth?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He can operate inside one. Okay, good.
Inside, outside, on the phone, off the phone.
And he's a plug-in guy, right? You just plug him right in.
Plug him right in.
Boom.
Wow. Okay.
Good pick.
4?
Yes, number 4, please.
I have the Browns taking Saquon Barkley.
Running back. They had all the quarterbacks toward the facility, but then they tricked people unless there are more trades coming here.
They've got the first pick then.
I dare you to tell me that he has a chance of being the next Barry Sanders. I dare you.
Stu?
Yeah.
He's got a chance.
Oh, wow. Mina, you have to be more aggressive when you point out to me that the Cleveland Browns also have the first pick, and what I said was stupid. You have to attack.
That's not my. Okay.
Yeah.
Dan.
Well, but you got to. Yes.
Look at the board. Number 1. Come on.
Okay. I'm an idiot. Number 3.
Right.
Number 3, according to Mina.
All right. Ooh. Stu, get ready.
Yeah, this is big.
I have the Jets.
Oh my God.
Taking Baker Mayfield.
Oh my God! I got a quarterback.
Is that what you're calling the enthusiasm in your pants?
I love him. I think he's the next Russell Wilson. He might be my favorite quarterback in the draft. I've only got him at 3 because of the inherent risk involved, but I think he's absolutely fantastic playmaker. We saw what he did in college.
Number 2 overall pick, according to Mina Kimes.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Bills trade up for Josh Rosen.
Whoa!
You shocked?
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute. What happened there? The Bills.
You shouldn't be.
They did what?
The Bills have been amassing all of these assets. It would be crazy for them not to use them to go get the quarterback. They need one. Josh Rosen, second best quarterback in the draft, and he can start immediately. He's probably the most pro-ready of all of them. The Bills need a guy to start.
Nice.
All right, I want to take
excellent use of pro-ready.
I want to take your calls with Mina Kimes in this next segment as well, beyond her mock draft. But the number one overall first pick. Everybody wants to know what this is. The number one overall pick for the NFL draft, according to Mina Kimes. Wow. I'm sorry, everything has to... Sorry, my timing is bad on that. The magic crate of content has to be opened.
Rummaging.
When that music is played, everything must stop immediately.
So no one's going to find out?
Oh, hold on a second. Mina, relax.
Sorry.
And so from the crate of content, it reads simply, touch someone else's nose. Touch someone else's nose. Stugotz, I guess you and I are here. Touch someone else's nose.
Okay.
This is not great radio content. Okay.
I've touched Dan's nose.
Mina,
he's touched
is there
mine.
anyone near you whose nose can be touched?
Sorry about the cocaine.
My dog. Hold on.
Dog? Okay.
He liked it.
Okay, Mina, I'm sorry. It has to be a human. We're not going to be able to get to your number one overall pick. I'm sorry about that.
Aquí lo que importa es el catch.
I want to point out, because we're not spoofing here, Mina Kimes has taken this thing very seriously, and Mina Kimes knows more football than just about anyone at this network.
Yes, and we're going to take calls and prove that to you in the next segment.
Hi, everyone. Stugotz here. Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you are confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, and your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you the same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you are getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz. That's rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz, STUGOTZ. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard.
Marriage at some point, I think for a lot of people, they get down to, and this is really a sad part about marriage, where you're just having sex one day a week. And that one day a week is Sunday. And so I love Sundays, but I hate everything I have to do leading up till Sunday, which is essentially agree with everything my wife says and does everything she asks me to do. And I'm only doing that for the Sundays. Because if I don't do it, there ain't no Sundays. And I can't live without my Sundays.
Stugotz.
I wonder if Abby hates Sundays.
Oh, she despises them.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Stugotz just muttered to me she ate it last night.
Sunday night. I mean. She hated it. Worst minute and 30 seconds of her life.
You're including the sandwich and the cigarette?
Of course I am. If you missed any of the show, you can listen to all 3 hours of the Dan Le Batard Show on demand in the ESPN app, plus our Miami-only hour that airs before the show, and now you can subscribe to our Best of podcast. It's all available in the Listen tab of the ESPN app. Surprise a friend or loved one today with a bouquet from 1-800-Flowers.com. When you order a dozen multicolored roses for just $29.99, you'll get another dozen absolutely free. Go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN.
Mike, what time are you going to call Mel Kiper to get his Coachella update? Is that going to be the next segment?
Yeah, he's calling next segment.
All right, next segment, we get Mel Kiper's breakdown of Coachella. I don't want to talk draft with Mel Kiper anymore. He's a different time. You know that me and Mel Kiper don't get along. He doesn't like me because I've exposed that his big board doesn't actually exist, that there is no big board, that he's just making it up on the fly. That's how he can do so many mock drafts. He doesn't have to lift one finger to put anything on any boards because he is a fraud about having a board. And then beyond that, so we don't get along. Beyond that, this is all guesswork. It's all unscientific. It's silly. And we believe that Mina Kimes is better at this with her information than McShay and Kiper. But she needs some coaching up. So, Chris, give us a brutally honest assessment there of how you felt Mina did in the last segment.
I mean, her information's okay, but she needs to give off more, I'm better at this than you. And
Okay.
I'm not really feeling like she's
You're not getting
great.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I need it
she's
more.
not. Now, that's not in her. Billy, do you have a brutally honest assessment here?
I think she did great. I mean, there's a couple times you said, I'm sorry. Just don't ever do that.
Yeah,
Never say I'm sorry. And make the person you're apologizing to apologize to you, even if you're wrong.
I'm not sorry for saying I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry,
Billy's,
not sorry.
Yeah,
Excellent.
all right. Mike, what could she have done better?
She didn't interrupt people enough. You gotta barge in there.
Stop. Okay, I get it.
And then, if someone's talking, just talk louder. Talk louder. Just talk over people.
Was that good? Not was that good?
Start yelling when someone else is talking. Just yell louder.
All right.
Yes, there we go.
They want to know the first pick.
All right, let's go. No, not yet.
How was that?
Not yet. Nick.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Nick, you're on with Mina Kimes, draft expert. Go ahead, Nick.
No sorries.
Mina, do the Seahawks need to look at drafting a quarterback because Sierra is obviously getting in our way? And Dan, Aqua?
You're a monster. I had the Seahawks trading out of the first round, by the way. That was I had 4 trades, not 3. I was wrong. I just looked at them. And I've got them trading out, the Browns trading in for the 18th spot because the Seahawks don't have a second or third round pick. They need more picks.
Wow. And what are the Browns doing with that?
They're taking Denzel Ward out of Ohio State.
Whoa, a bonus pick. Mike, where's the fanfare?
Sorry. Yeah. Shoot, I said it again. Not sorry.
There are going to be too many apologies. Chris, this is a plague in her career. It's her Achilles heel. The scouting reports throughout ESPN are like, the way you get Mina, just get her to start apologizing.
He's talking bad about you. Start interrupting him.
Mina,
stop. Come on. People want to hear my picks. You're taking away from their time.
What position does this guy play?
Denzel Ward, he's a cornerback.
Okay,
he's a little guy, but,
right.
He has a lot of speed, and he's really good in the short area.
Could be the next Frank Minifield, right?
Jacob, you're on with Mina Kimes.
All right.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Mina, I heard you had James going on at 7 to Tampa Bay. Is that only because Chubb and Nelson and Barkley are gone? Is he the Bucs' 4th choice?
It is because Chubb's gone. I would obviously give him Chubb if he was still there. I don't think he'll last that long. But Derwin James is fantastic. I mean, he's just so versatile, and you need that kind of defensive back today in football. So he's a great pick for them. I'd be thrilled if I was a Bucs fan.
Before you speak, the sound you just made before you uttered that sentence is the sound you need to make before every sentence you say as it relates to the draft.
What was the sound?
It sounded like you were breathing fire.
Yeah, it was as if it was like some sort of death rattle.
Yeah.
You guys want to get that sound, and then we'll play it back?
It was more of a sigh.
I'm telling you, this is your staple. This is the thing. It's like this big, fiery pause before you give your take.
Like a dragon inhaling breath before. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, if you could come in with, you'd be like the Carrot Top of draft analysts.
Right.
You'd have props. But
give me another one. All right, Dan, enough out of you. Give me another one.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. Paul, you're on with Mina Kimes. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Mina, I want to know about the Eagles. They go after this tight end that they're really sweet on. I've also heard that they're going to trade their pick with Foles to try and go up maybe to the Bills for A.J. McCarron. What do you think's the direction?
No laughter, Mina. No laughter.
I tried to preserve the sigh, but
for the love of God.
All right, let me answer the question.
Christ Almighty, Mina.
I don't like the tight ends in this draft very much. I don't think either of them or any of them are really worth taking near the top. The Eagles,
Wait a minute. Look at the criticism that Chris Cody has of you, and it's fair criticism.
I don't believe you. Tell me more how much you hate them.
Like the tight ends, he doesn't believe you, Mina.
The tight ends in this draft are trash. The Eagles should not trade up for any of them or take them in the first 2 rounds. Yes. I've got them taking a guard at 32.
Mina.
It's a little too harsh. I mean.
Okay, Mina, but no, you can't go perpetual nuance on the NFL draft. You cannot take McShay and Kai. I mean, you can't.
She can if she does that.
No, she's a one-trick
I've got my thing
now. She's a one-trick dragon. She doesn't have anything in her game other than a noise. She's Ivy League educated, and we're sitting here telling everybody she's better at this than anybody.
You know what, Dan? The people like my picks. And I never even got to give my number 1.
Hold on a
second.
Sorry.
Sorry, I said sorry.
You're apologizing too much, Mina. P.I., you're on with Mina Kimes.
P.I.?
Yep, P.I. What's up, Mina? Don't listen to those clowns, first of all.
Thank you.
Second of all, why is nobody talking about Lamar Jackson to the Dolphins? They already run that offense. They got Tannehill, used to be wide receiver. Adam Gase is supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. I think it's a perfect spot for him.
The laughter is killing you. Like,
I'm trying to do the thing, but it doesn't feel natural. Just stop. I've got the Dolphins taking Tremaine Edmonds. I just think there's too many needs in that defense. I've got the Steelers trading up to 14 to take Lamar Jackson. So I was at...
Wow.
Yeah.
Mind blown.
I know.
Wow.
That's probably the biggest, most shocking trade I've got. But I was at Jackson's pro day. The Steelers had pretty much their entire staff there. Tomlin was on the field watching him, looking at him like the way I look at Stugotz's wings when I'm in the studio, and I just got a feeling they are going to take this guy and do whatever it takes.
All right.
She's getting better, man.
She's getting better.
Well, we got to keep it, though. She needs reps. She definitely needs
that was good.
Needs reps.
No, that was good. That was your best one.
We're all
right
celebrity.
there.
Yes. Let's see here. Adam, try and stump Mina Kimes. What do you got, Adam? What do you have?
I'm Mina Kiper. Will the SEC continue to have the most number one draft picks?
I think
God.
You can't do that.
No, that can't be. That can't
listen,
be.
I'm turning draft coverage off if someone does that.
Unbelievable.
Okay, all right, yeah.
No.
I think it's, yes. There's just so much talent out of Alabama and Georgia in this draft. Looking at my board, I think it's Who's doing that? Who's making that noise? Who is that? Are you all doing it at me now? You know what? I put together this giant board. I have 60 pages of research.
Mina, who's your number one? Who's your number one, Mina? Who is
Sam Darnold to the Browns. Highest ceiling in this draft. Great anticipation. Throws receivers open. He's mobile. He has the accuracy. He needs a season on the sidelines.
Don Lebatard.
Finally, Jane's Addiction frontman, Perry Farrell.
Stugotz.
Perry Farrell. Farrell? Perry Farrell.
This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
So earlier in the show, we were talking about Marco Bellinelli. Marco Bellinelli is a thorn in the side of the Miami Heat. He has played for 4 different teams and 400 different teams, all of them bombing from the outside to beat the Miami Heat. Marco Bellinelli, we were talking during the local hour of this show, sounds like a drink you would order at the arena. I'll have a Bellinelli. We said some of the ingredients were armpit hair, the smell of cigarettes, 70 different uniforms.
Yeah.
So the Bellinelli is the best that we've had nominated so far of athletes whose names can be turned into a drink.
Right.
A drink name. Do we have any other nominees that you guys have embraced or enjoyed?
We're just getting started. We actually decided a frozen Bellinelli sounds better.
That's right. That's not good for your playoff team, but it's good for your taste buds.
Right. Mike also, because the Heat play tonight and they're all about culture, Mike likes a shot of culture. He's going to have a shot of culture before the game tonight.
Yeah, that's lame. It's lame. That's totally lame.
How do you feel about a Kuzma and soda?
That's good. That goes down smooth.
Van Vliet on the rocks.
That's pretty good right there.
Pretty good, right?
Yes.
And we have a Kawhi tie.
All right, let's go, baby. That's a game we can play, right?
So listen, listeners, because we just like to get the ball rolling here, and then you do all the real heavy lifting for us. Right?
That's right.
So now just find the player on a team and make him into a drink.
We're not going to share the money with you. That all goes to us. Proceeds all go to us. But you do our show for us. We'll throw that out to you, a Bellinelli, a Kawhi tie. What's in the Kawhi tie? What's in it?
Nothing. Because he's not playing.
It's just an empty glass. I'll have a Kawhi tie, and then we'll check with his group about how we get it.
It's non-alcoholic. I mean, and even if it had alcohol, it wouldn't make you start talking anyway. I mean, it's just, it's a Kawhi tie. Served neat.
Oh, served neat. The Kawhi tie is served neat. Okay. So we like our music around here, and Coachella was this weekend. All sorts of things happened, Stugotz, at Coachella. Beyonce headlined a proud cultural moment. Cardi B was Cardi B. But to get the real information about what happened at Coachella this weekend, we now call Mel Kiper Jr. Mel Kiper Jr. is our music critic on these things. Mel, what can you tell us about how Coachella went?
Well, Ben, a lot of people are worried about which quarterback's going to be replacing Eli Manning in New York. That's a piece of cake compared to what Eminem had to do following Beyonce's Saturday night headlining set. can't say enough about Queen Bee's game-changing performance. Shined on her own, but also performed out of the power eye with Destiny's Child. Personally, I prefer her in Singleback. No offense to Kelly or Michelle. I just don't see Beyonce as a 3 technique.
Okay. All right. That is a great analysis on what happened at Coachella. Any interesting nuggets? Any interesting things we should know? I'm interested, but I don't know much of anything that happened this weekend.
Let's talk a little bit about the underclassmen. You talk about a Tyler, the Creator. Combine Wonder stocks up after that performance. Impressive stage production. A lot of people worried about the lack of rock bands also at Coachella Day, and I know you were. I thought, fortunately, the man stepped up to the challenge despite the lack of roster continuity. We definitely have to talk about the fast riser on my board, though. You mentioned Cardi B, super fast out of the breaks. Have some off-the-field concerns. Unfortunately, no one's going to accuse Cardi of forgetting where she came from. Was pretty thrown by the dozens of strippers on stage, but she interviews very well. Do have some durability concerns considering she's pregnant with Offset's baby. All in all, sky high on my Papa Princess, Cardi B.
A linen juice.
Olinic juice is what you meant to go with there?
A Lin and juice.
A Lin? A what? A
Jeremy Lin and juice.
A Jeremy Lin and juice?
It's a Lin and juice.
I thought you were saying Olinic juice.
I was not.
Thank you, Mel, for being on with us. It sounds like the line dropped, so our apologies. It is too bad because it was the coverage was really good, right? I wanted to hear more about Coachella, but instead we're going to do sports drinks at Le Batard Show on Twitter. Athletes in sports whose name could be turned into a drink.
I'll take a Nowitzki sour.
That's pretty good.
How about a bloody Darvish?
What is that? What is it? Is it a you Darvish? What's a bloody Darvish? Is it just that you're throwing a bloody in front of a name?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I could do that with anybody.
It just sounds like a drink, though. Hey,
okay.
I'd love a bloody Darvish.
Okay, but no, it doesn't, because so does this. I'd love a bloody Antetokounmpo.
No. The bartender's going to look at you weird. You do that. I'm telling you.
But a Greek Freak does sound like a signature cocktail.
There you go.
If we're doing other sports, a Jager bomb.
Why are we doing other sports?
He said Darvish.
I did, yeah. I changed it to baseball. I mean, all sports. All sports. Why just basketball?
Okay.
Why limit ourselves?
All right. How about, so just people in sports, so not even just athletes. We can make it broadcasters, anything. The names of drinks, sports names, and how you can turn them into drinks so you too could enjoy something like a frozen fruity Bellinelli at your local arena.
A chocolate mixshake.
I don't even know what you're laughing at.
Media, McShay.
But you made a mistake.
Yeah, but all you did was make it a shake. $2, get out of here.
McShake.
Get out. $2, penalty box, get out of here. You are having a disaster of a day today.
That's what I was laughing at.
Making a Todd McShake.
That's 2 minutes in the box.
Do you not get the show, man? Get out of here. You, your dad, you're a plague on the industry.
That's a little strong.
I don't feel like it is a little strong. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Are Greg Cody and Chris Cody a plague on their industry? I don't believe that. I don't believe that's a little strong. I believe that it's just the right amount of plague. The two of them, man, bumping into each other. Oh, and how about this one? Speaking of Greg Cody, we have this wonderful article that this guy writes about our show on Slate, and it doesn't mention Greg Cody. He's furious. He's going to be in here tomorrow. The article didn't mention him, and he's just out of his mind. And I'd ask Chris about it right now, but I just sent him away.
That's unfortunate.
He might be in therapy right now, too.
Oh, is he in therapy? Have we got that couch working yet out there? The therapy couch? Is it working yet?
Mellow shots.
Oh, yeah. Mellow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Be careful with your elbow. Mellow shots. We are working in here to try and do television. And so, no, that is not the way we do television. Okay, of course, this is the way our show does television. No. All right, let me explain this to the radio audience. Guillermo, I'm going to try and explain this to the radio audience so it doesn't become a totally inside television joke. But can you please explain to me what just happened in our organizational structure that had Chris Cody? You guys made me throw it to the therapy couch. Thank you. Christ almighty, man. What kind of communication is that between this room and Washington that Chris Cody laid down on a couch in front of a hockey crowd? Like, I mean, that's how we make television around here. When we put you guys in charge of the television, that's what it looks like.
A whiskey Mauer.
Winning at sports and at sports broadcasting means changing things up.
Just like La Quinta Inns and Suites is changing up their look.
A renovated lobby that's so contemporary it even makes Golick look cool.
Yes, it does. And a totally updated fitness center that even has Wingo feeling like a workout.
I'm ripped. Plus plenty of comfortable spaces to hang out.
Yep, this La Quinta look definitely has a vibe of victory.
So you can just relax, refresh, and get ready for your next big meeting.
Prepare to win at business with La Quinta Inns and Suites.
Book now at LQ.com.
Don Le Batard. Chris Cody is the man with the most refined taste in the shipping container. Your thoughts on this fight?
Stugotz. I always like Connor.
Oh,
my God.
Flame out. Oh, man. I went to you. I tried to tee you up, Cody.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
At Le Batard Show is where you reach us on Twitter. Stugotz is going to update the polls in just a second. But before we update the polls, we have to do the funniest thing from the sports weekend. We grab everything that happened over the weekend and we distill it for you in bite-sized nuggets. Go ahead, Stugotz.
Hey, people, tell us what in the sport made you laugh hardest this weekend. It is a segment we call What Made You Laugh This Weekend. Ha, ha, ha!
Funniest thing from the sports weekend is brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Chris, what do you got? What was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Nick Young showed up to game 1 in a silk robe.
Guillermo, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Marlins man and Andy Slater going to the British Virgin Islands to find this P.O. box for the Marlins home office.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
You guys got to look at that online. The main fan and the only remaining Marlins journalist. You got the only remaining Marlins fan and the only remaining journalist going to the British Virgin Islands looking for the headquarters of the Marlins, who are being sued by this city and saying that their headquarters are in the British Virgin Islands and finding only a P.O. box. Roy, what's the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Lance Stevenson banging his head against the stanchion under the basket.
I'm not even sure that was the best Lance moment from this weekend. What he did to LeBron again, where he's just playing visual tricks, was great. Mike, what do you got? Funniest thing from the sports weekend?
The Knicks head coaching search. Mike Woodson back in the fray. Come on, this needs to happen.
Yes.
So funny.
Him or what? Meta?
No, we want Meta, man.
We want Meta, but I
Blatt.
understand.
Or
Okay.
Blatt.
Yeah.
Stugotz, how about you?
Chris Webber calling Derrick Rose one of the best 400 players in the country.
Okay, that is pretty funny.
It's hysterical.
Okay, and my funniest thing from the sports weekend is Mark Sanchez being suspended for the 4 hypothetical games that he was never going to play anyway in his future for PED use. PED use that turned Mark Sanchez, as we all saw, into the performance-enhanced creature that one day became Mark Sanchez. Guillermo, let's update the polls at Le Batard Show. At Le Batard Show on the polls is how you reach us. How many do we have today?
Lots of polls today, Dan. We don't need Guillermo to do this. I got this.
Okay, thank you, Fake Stugotz. What do you got? Give us, go ahead and update the polls.
Ilyasova, glue guy? 60% said no. Or no, yes, sorry. 60% said yes. He's a glue guy.
All right. At Le Batard Show on Twitter.
As long as he makes mistakes using my voice, he's fine.
That's right. It is a great part of the impersonation that he can remain the Fake Stugotz, make a mistake, and it's even better when the mistake gets made.
All right, next poll. Did losing to the Sixers feel worse than watching LeBron get blown out at home? Lots of votes here. 58% of the audience said no.
I'll have a Samaki Walker Black.
Have the Sixers played for under a billion teams combined? 65% of the audience said they played for over a billion teams combined.
A dirty Mariota.
Did Mike Woodson's face ever express anything during his run as a coach? 89% of the audience said no.
It never did. And the whole eyebrows, not having eyebrows thing, it was weird.
McGloin and Coke.
Is ghouls a funny word? 73% of the audience said yes.
Everyone, yes. Yeah, what are some other funny words? I want to come up with some other funny words from the audience. Come on, text them in at Le Batard Show.
Muscala Mule.
Would you eat a tarantula burger? 91% of the audience said no. They would not eat a tarantula burger.
A Rory Sabatini.
Can you draft a guard in the top 5? 65% of the audience said yes.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. You can't have a top 5 pick and take an offensive guard.
How about some Gatorade?
Are Greg and Chris Cody a plague on their industry?
Oh, my God, are they?
75% of the audience agrees with you, Dan. Said yes.
Gin and tonic.
Seriously. I mean, honest to God, you and your dad, why were you such a disaster today, Chris? What happened?
I'll take an Irish Car LeBron.
Those are today's poll, Dan.
A Trout Stout.
When is the fake Stugotz going to start plaguing local radio stations by being the fake Stugotz, and they think they have the actual Stugotz on, but it's the fake Stugotz? Are you guys ever going to get that off the ground?
Well, there's a couple issues with that, Daniel. First and foremost, we can't be telling people we're going to do the fake. Secondly, Stugotz needs to be willing to give up these interviews. So I heard him on a podcast the other day with Zach Harper talking for an hour. Would have been a great spot to do this. Stugotz doesn't want to give up these interviews or podcasts. So that's problem number 2.
Hey, Derek Rose.
I think that you and fake Stugotz need to argue with each other about this. Do you hear what he's accusing you of? You are not helping the fake Stugotz's career. You continue to just hog things for yourself, and he's accusing you of not helping get his career off the ground.
Strawberry Shackery.
You talking to me? Who are you talking to, Dan?
I'm talking to both of you.
We're doing this thing. I have to be reading the polls, and then, I have to say
Right.
what drinks sound like NBA players.
I'm paying attention now. What am I doing to you? How am I holding you back? What's happening here? Tell me.
Dan is here, and he's trying to ruin this joke that we're going to do. We're going to spring this fake on people, and, surprise. It's but he keeps telling everybody the surprise. It ruins the surprise. And that was also telling him part of the problem is that you keep doing the interviews when people are asking for the interviews, which is problematic because I can't go on these interviews if you're doing the interviews.
Grant Hilsner.
You're supposed to be talking to me, Stugotz. We've moved on from the drink
you're
game.
3 jokes behind. Stugotz, argue with the fake Stugotz.
Sex on the Meach. Yeah! 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 Oh! Yeah! Yes!
I need the fake Stugotz.
Matt Harvey Wallbanger.
I don't know what else I can do here, Dan. I'm trying to help you out here. They're not cooperating.
Wait a minute.
I'm not saying that it's his fault. I'm not saying it's Stugotz's fault. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault other than my fault. I'm just saying maybe it's not my fault.
What do you need? What do you want me to do? You want to do an interview in Des Moines? It's all yours.
No, we can't. That's part of the problem. We can't tell people we're going to do it.
Oh.
Dan doesn't seem to get that.
Okay.
But you guys aren't talking off air either. You guys aren't talking on air. You're not talking off air. Like, you guys are not discussing how to get on.
What do you mean?
These radio stations and these affiliates all over the country as the fake Stugotz who think they're talking to the real Stugotz.
Carl Malone. No. How about that?
Chris, you want to help him there?
Carmerlo.
Huh, funnier.
Listen, I have a lot of things going on right now, Dan. I'm writing a book, biggest tournament of the year coming up this weekend. I say it every time. Biggest tournament of the year coming up this weekend. I'm a coach. I don't know. I'm calling a game this weekend. Wait, didn't you call a game this weekend?
A landing